Is classical music outdated? You know, no longer in use or fashionable, outmoded, antiquated. I know you've thought it. So let's talk about it. So I was curious. As an experiment, I asked ChatGPT to give me a list of objections to classical music. I'm always interested in getting new people to give classical music a try, and I wanted a clearer picture of what people actually think about this music, or at least what AI believes people think. And it gave me a pretty lengthy list of objections. Some are valid, at least to some degree. Many aren't, and I'll get to them later. But today I want to talk about this objection: cultural relevance. Classical music is outdated. Critics argue it reflects the values of past centuries and doesn't resonate with modern life. The piece of music I played at the beginning of the video was a snippet from one of Monteverdi's madrigals. Claudio Monteverdi was an Italian composer born almost 500 years ago, lived from 1567 to 1643. And a madrigal is a form of secular vocal music popular at the time for 2 to 8 solo voices in harmony or blend. Now, with every critique, even if it's wrong, is at least a kernel of truth. And in this case, it's the part about not being fashionable. By definition, fashionable is of the now. It's about what is currently trendy. So a centuries-old secular song written in Renaissance Italy is definitely not of the now. Madrigals aren't trending on Spotify. But if you're interested in beautiful, exotic-sounding, blended vocals, there's nothing like a good madrigal. The Camille Saint-Saëns Fantasy for Violin and Harp, Opus 124. Saint-Saëns was a French composer, 1835 to 1921, and this particular fantasy was written in 1907. Let's talk about another of the words used in the objection: outmoded, no longer usable, obsolete. When I heard this piece for the first time a few years ago, I thought a few things. 1, this piece is gorgeous and distinctive sounding because of the instrument combination. 2, how could I have not heard this before? Where have I been? And 3, after watching the performance, I remember feeling inspired to go practice. And that doesn't always happen. I remember being struck by the artistry, their sense of musical line, of flow, and of space. Space means they artfully played the silences in the music as well as the notes. So obsolete, no longer usable? I guess it depends on what you expect to use it for. I have found it quite useful as a source of delight and inspiration. Now, I know you've heard that tune before, probably at someone's graduation. The piece is called Pomp and Circumstance, written by Edward Elgar, a British composer, in 1901. You don't think about it as you're watching your loved one receive their diploma, but this is classical music. It was written for symphony orchestra over 100 years ago. No longer useful? Ask the graduating class. You see, the reason it's considered good to be fashionable and up to date is because that label serves as proxy for relevance, enjoyment, and vettedness. If a thing is deemed fashionable, of the moment, dated, we assume that thing will be valuable to us and enjoyable because others have found it so, i.e., vetted. But as the original cultural context of a piece of music falls away with the passage of time, what's left is the music itself, the pure art, without the crutch of cultural context to fuel its popularity and relevance to you. We are free to experience it and use it based on its merits and our needs, irrespective of what it may have been originally designed for. Classical music is not of the now, on purpose. The focus is not on what is fashionable or trendy, but what is worthwhile and valuable. Now, 10 years from now, 500 years from now. That's a very different calculation, and it makes for very different art. So, classical music outdated? No. The word I think you're looking for is timeless.